Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, past, present, and future. We're going to continue on with some Glory Days boxing. We showed you about between Duran and Pacquiao, the lightweight set, using an Excel helper that I created. And now we're going to give you the card and dice, the beauty of these cards, the absolutely wonderful quality of the card stock. Listen to that. Absolutely beautiful. Joe Louis, Joe Frazier, round 2 of our TenStar tournament. And round 1 bouts are up on the channel. So we have Joe Louis at 66 victories, 3 defeats, no draws, 52 by stoppages, taking on Joe Frazier, smoking Joe Frazier, 32 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw. That draw when he came back after retiring, it was with Jumbo Cummings, and he had 27 stoppages. In his 4 defeats, Joe Frazier is only defeated by 2 pugilists, Muhammad Ali twice and Big George Foreman twice. All right, so we're going to give you the true card and dice version. This is a 15-rounder, so buckle up, folks. It could go a while, but these are 2 big, hellacious punchers. Again, both of them won their way in. And those, well, I can tell you because you know they won. Joe Louis stopped, I think, Peter Jackson, and Joe Frazier and Rocky Marciano had an epic 15-round battle. Frazier won a decision. Very close, very epic. Frazier dropped Marciano twice. So here we go. Frazier, it will be in the blue corner. Louis will be in the red corner. This is Glory Days Boxing, brought to you by our good friend in the community, Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming. And this game can be purchased on SidelineStrategy.com. The link is provided in the chat and on the page. So with that being said, the middleweight set will be out a little later this month in November. Let's go to ringside. And 15 rounds heavyweights, Joe Louis, Joe Frazier. Fighters get their final instructions. Back to the corners. We await the bell. Again, Louis the red, die, Frazier the blue. Ding, ding goes the bell. We roll for control, both 10-star fighters. And that's a 3 and a 3. Louis can't get anything going from the outside. Frazier works his way inside. Frazier will throw the punches, and Frazier's going to get a good result there. That's a 14 on the inside. He's going to bang away with 4 punches as he digs 2 to the head, a right and a left to the body. So good job by Joe Frazier as he starts off. 4-punch salvo. Louis, actually, if we roll 1 through 4 on defense, could block one. It's a 10. He doesn't. Frazier, we roll for power now. It's a 16. 2:40 left in round number 1. Good start for Joe Frazier. He has momentum. And that's a 5 and a 5. Louis on the outside trying to work behind that jab and land that cross. Frazier trying to bore in. This time Louis does get the jab off. Stops Frazier. That's a 35 on the outside. And that's a 3-punch combination. 2 jabs and a stiff right hand. So 3 solid blows land by Joe Louis, a tremendous puncher. Frazier, let's see if he blocks any. Frazier 1 through 3 blocks, 4 through 5, adds another one. It's a 3, so Frazier ducks away from one. One of those jabs missed. The big right hand did land. Power check for Joe Louis. It's a 12. No power check there. 2:20 left to go in round number 1. Frazier now pressing the attack. Louis with momentum. A 1 for Joe Louis. That's 2 on the outside against a 5 for Joe Frazier. That's 1 on the inside. So again, Louis trying to work behind that jab. He throws first in this toe-to-toe exchange. That's a 17 for Joe Louis on the outside. Toe-to-toe exchange. It's going to be 4 punches landed. And it's a toe-to-toe exchange. No defense there, so 6 blows landed by Joe Louis. so far. And here comes Frazier. Frazier gets in close, and he's going to let his hands grip and rip. And 69. He misses on the inside. And before we go any further, let me just give you the traits. We have to subtract 5. So Lewis's stamina is 100 minus 5 from Joe Frazier's trait. And it'll go down to 95. And Lewis's trait plus 1 to power if behind in the last 2 rounds. So power check only for Joe Lewis here. And that's a 19. Possible cut as Lewis's power is 6 and Frazier's power is 6. So a 19, a possible cut. Joe Frazier. Frazier cuts at a 5. And it's a 14, so no cut. 2 minutes to go here. And round number 1. Lewis really working well behind that jab. A 5 for Joe Lewis. 2 on the outside against a 4 for Joe Frazier. 2 on the outside. Again, Lewis with momentum. He goes first. Frazier's not in a comfort zone there on the outside. That's a 46 for Joe Lewis. And Lewis will land a left and a good right cross. 8 blows now landed. Frazier will wing from the outside. Those are looping punches. That's a 95 from the outside, and they fall into a clinch. No, wait, no, a possible foul. A possible foul on Joe Frazier. Frazier fouls at a 3, and it's a 5. No foul. 1 punch does sneak in low of the border. Power check only for Lewis now. He needs a 6 and under. It's a 6. Possible knockdown to Joe Frazier. Frazier felt those blows. For Lewis looking for an early ending like Foreman did in Jamaica. Frazier goes down with a 2 or under. He's hurt 5-3. It's a 17. He absorbs the punishment. 140 left in round number 1. So far, Lewis has been able to work off that jab quite nicely. That's a 1 for Lewis, 2 on the outside, and a 6 for Frazier. 3 on the inside. Frazier boring in, forcing Lewis back. Frazier with control right now, and he can't take advantage of it. That's a 98. Another possible foul on Frazier. And it's an 18. So again, he lands low. The referee doesn't see it. Trying to slow down Joe Lewis any means possible. It looks like 120 left in the round. With that low blow, Frazier now has momentum. Frazier really trying to roughhouse Lewis. 5 for Lewis. That's 2 on the outside and a 1 for Joe Frazier. 2 on the inside. Frazier gets in close. He'll go first. And that's an 88 inside. And they clinch, they maul, they brawl. That will end that. The referee breaks him. Lewis does not get his chance at a toe-to-toe exchange. I play with the old rules. 1 minute left in round number 1. A 6 for Joe Lewis. 2 on the inside and a 3. 2 on the inside for Frazier. Again, Frazier, Billy Goat to Billy Goat, lets his hands go. 92. And again the clinch. Mauling, brawling, working the free hand. A lot of dirty tactics on the inside. Lewis tries to split his guard. The referee finally breaks him. 40 seconds left. So Frazier just trying to really rough up Joe Lewis. 6 and a 5. A 6 for Lewis. 2 on the inside. A 5. 1 on the inside. Lewis is going to get his shots off. And that's a 66. You're not going to get any root kicks on those Route 66. He misses on the inside. Frazier ducks away. Frazier comes up swinging. Counter opportunity for Frazier. 1 through 6, he lands. It's a 6. He lands a left hook and a right cross. We're 8 punches apiece. 20 seconds to go here in round 1. Fans on their feet at Yankee Stadium. This round's up for grabs. That's a 2 for Joe Lewis. And that's 3 on the inside. The best you can be. Against a 5 for Frazier. Only 1 on the inside. Lewis trying to win this round here and now. And he's not going to. It's a 77. He misses. Frazier with a countering opportunity. 1 through 6. 13. Ding, ding goes the bell. The fans on their feet. That round dead even. 8 punches apiece. A lot of mauling and brawling in there. So first thing we have to do is Lewis actually has 95 stamina points because Frazier's trait is -5 against the opponent. So we have to do that first. I forgot to do that. And Frazier landed 8. Lewis landed 8. Frazier's stamina now 92. Lewis is 87. That is a 10. Oh, let's fix this for a second. There we go. That's a 10-10 round. As we prepare for round number 2. Very exciting. Frazier will have momentum. Fighters getting their instructions in the corner. And here we go for round number 2. We roll for control. Lewis with a 5, 2 on the outside against Frazier with a 3, 2 on the inside. Frazier gets in tight and works. That's a good result. 33 on the inside for Smokin' Joe Frazier. And Frazier bippity-boppity booms. A right, a left, and a left to the head. A 3-punch assault. Yes, a 3-punch assault for Joe Frazier. And here's Lewis from the outside, getting some distance on this toe-to-toe exchange. And that's a 70. He will miss. Power check only. For Frazier, he needs a 6 and under. It's a 1. Possible knockdown of Joe Lewis. Lewis, chin check. He goes down 3 and under. He's hurt. 4 through 6. It's a 1! Lewis is down from a big left hook. Big left hook sends Joe Lewis to the canvas. Frazier trying to do to Lewis what Schmeling did in the first fight. Lewis will be knocked out if it's a 1. He is hurt. It's an 11. It's a double 1. Lewis gets up at the count of 5, takes the mandatory 8. The referee looks into his eyes. So let's just mark that. Frazier scores knockdown. Five count. Lewis takes the mandatory 8. Referee wipes off his gloves. Referee Mills Lane. Wow. A big start here for Joe Frazier. He goes unopposed. Frazier wants to get something on the inside to get a possible TKO check. So Frazier wants to get a 1, 3, 5, or 6. He gets a 4. That's on the outside. He only lands 1 through 45. Where on the inside it's 1 through 58. And it's a 94. A 94. Lewis is able to grab on. Frazier cannot land any follow-up blows. The big left hook from Smokin' Joe Frazier drops Joe Lewis, but Lewis is able to survive that assault so far. Frazier still with momentum. That's a 5 for Joe Lewis, 2 on the outside, a 3 for Frazier, 2 on the inside. Smokin' Joe again inside, gripping and ripping. 24 for Smokin' Joe. He's going to land 3 big punches. Again, digs hard to the body and slams that left hook upside the cranium of the beloved Joe Lewis. Lewis tries to get distance behind that jab. He fires away. That's a 39 for Joe Lewis from distance. And he lands 2 jab and a straight right hand. Simultaneous power check. $19. A 3 for Frazier. Lewis could go down again. Possible cut. We'll do that after. We go with the knockdown first. Another 3 knockdown rule is in effect. So Lewis goes down 3 and under. He's hurt 6, 5, and 4. It's a 16. He survives that. Big blows. And he's not hurt. So now a possible cut on Joe Frazier. He cuts at a 5 or under. It's a 15. No cut. Wow. Big punches land by Smokin' Joe Frazier. Big, big punches. Frazier still with the momentum. That's a 4 for Lewis. 1 on the inside. A 2 for Frazier. Frazier Can't get off with his punches. Lewis is going to rip on the inside. 28. That's a very good result. 3-punch salvo on the inside. A left, a right, and a left hook splits the Frazier guard. Does Frazier block any? Frazier will block a punch. With a 1, 2, or 3, he'll be able to evade one. He doesn't. That's a 19. Power check for Lewis. He needs a 6 and under. It's a 3! That uppercut rattles Frazier. Frazier goes down 2 and under. He's hurt. 5, 3, and 4. It's a 2! Frazier goes down! Frazier is down. He will be knocked out with a roll of a 2. It's a 7. It's a 7. He is down for a 6 count. Unbelievable. Unbelievable! Both fighters have gone down in round 2. This time Lewis scores the knockdown. Frazier takes the mandatory 8. And that was for a 6 count. Not that it matters. Referee's asking if he wants to go on, wipes his gloves. The crowd is screaming on their feet in these hellacious toe-to-toe exchange. It will be Joe Louis now with an opportunity to TKO Joe Frazier. 140 left in what has to be possibly the round of the year in Glory Days boxing. Louis that's a 1. That's 2 on the outside. He would have rather been on the inside, but he's 50% on the outside. He needs to land 3 punches for a possible TKO. It's a 38. He will land 3 punches. Jab, right hand, left uppercut. Lewis nails Frazier. Frazier goes staggering back to the ropes. And here we go. He is TKO'd with a 3 or under. It's a 14. Lewis smothers in. Frazier grabs onto him. The referee separates them. Oh, my Lord, what a round so far. 1:20 to go. Lewis now has momentum. That's a 6 and a 6. 2 on the inside for Joe Louis. 3 on the inside for Frazier. Frazier reaching deep down. 37 on the inside. And Frazier comes back with big blows. 3 possible hard shots land for Joe Frazier. Left hooks all the way, baby. Lewis will miss 1 through 4 on defense. It's a 2. So he ducks away from one of those blows. Power check now for Frazier. He needs a 6 and under. It's an 11. 1 minute left in round number 2. Definitely round of the year so far. The fans screaming on their feet here at Yankee Stadium. They can't believe what they've seen. Frazier with momentum. Lewis with a 2. That's 3 on the inside against a 5. 1 on the inside. Lewis is going to come right back. There, Billy Goat to Billy Goat. Center of the ring. Lewis fires away. That's a 90. They fall into a clinch. A lot of mauling and brawling. A lot of rough stuff in there. The referee, Mills Lane, finally breaks them. 40 seconds left in round number 2. What a round. 5 for Lewis. 2 on the outside and a 2 for Frazier. Frazier can't get anything going. Lewis working behind his jab from the outside. That's a 38. A 38. 2 jabs and another solid right cross. Bounces off Frazier's chin. Does he block any? Did he dip and dive away from any? No! He absorbs all the punishment. Lewis needs a 6 and under. It's an 8. 20 seconds ago. Lewis taking command late in this round. Can Frazier rally? A 1 for Frazier, a 4 for Lewis. 1 on the inside for Joe Louis. 2 on the inside for Frazier. They get in tight. Frazier lets his hands go first. A tremendous result. 5 punches land for Smoking Joe Frazier. Right at the end of this fight, the clock ticking down. Does Lewis get hit with everything? Yes, he does. Power check. It's a 5. Will Lewis go down for a second time in this round? The clock is ticking down. 7. No, he survives it. Ding, ding goes the bell. Holy poop. And Joe Frazier with that hellacious 5-punch combination coming to the close of one of the greatest rounds of pugilistic fisticuff action takes the round 13-12. Both fighters go down. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is a 10-9 round. I mean, both fighters go down. I'm just going to give it 10-9 to Frazier. I mean, it would be 9-8 the other way. That's kind of stupid. So we'll just go 10-9. That is wow. And at ringside, in utter amazement, is What's Blazing in Sports. Our good friend T-Dub, check out that great boxing channel. And Tribesfan 879, another wonderful Stratomatic Card and Dice channel. Holy poop, what a round of boxing. And Lewis really was rattled at the end. Frazier, 13 blows landed, trying to wear down the great Joe Louis. So stamina now, 80 points for Frazier, 74 for Lewis. Punches landed, 21 for Frazier, 20 for Lewis. You can't get any closer than that. The scorecard's 20-19. We move on to round 3. They're trying to revive Lewis in that corner. He got thumped up pretty good. Momentum will be with Frazier. We prepare for round number 3. Hope everyone's doing well this evening. Here's the roll for control. Snake Eyes. 1 on the outside for Lewis is 2 stars. And 2 stars on the inside for Frazier. So Frazier works in tight. He throws. That's a good result. That's a 36 in tight. That's 3 punches landed. Again, he digs very hard to the body and just whams that left hook to the head, does Frazier. And here's Lewis getting a little more distance. That's a 97. Possible foul. Possible foul. Lewis's foul rating is a 3. And it's a 19. No foul. We go to the power check for Frazier. Again, 6 and under. And it's an 18. 2:40 left in round number 3. Unbelievable fights. Fans' seats are not in the fannies. Fans' fannies are not in the seats, excuse me. I'm even excited. I'm barely in my seat. That's a 4 for Joe Louis. 1 on the inside against a 6 for Frazier. And that's Frazier's money roll. That's 3 stars on the inside. He forces Louis back towards the rope. Frazier again lets his hands go. That's a 51. A left to the body and a left to the head. 2 hard shots. Does Louis avoid any? No, he does not on the 13. Power check. We need a 6 and under. It's a 4! Another possible knockdown of Joe Louis. Frazier just teeing off on the great champ Joe Louis. 3 and under, he goes down. 6, 5, and 4, he's hurt. It's a 16. Louis absorbs it. He ties him up. Mills Lanes breaks them. 2:20 to go. In round number 3, we roll for control. Frazier with momentum. That's a 4 for Louis. 1 on the inside against a 2 for Frazier. Nothing on the outside. So now it's Louis with some payback. He's got to land. He does not. That's an 89. He falls into a clinch. Again, a lot of rough stuff on the inside. The referee breaks him 2 minutes ago here in round number 3. A 2 for Louis. That's 3 stars on the inside against a 4. 2 stars on the outside. Louis again trying to change the momentum of battle here. And that's an 11. Beautiful result on the inside. An 11. That's going to be 4 big punches. Jab, uppercut, left, and another right crashing on Frazier's jaw. 4 punches land. Did Frazier avoid any of them? Did he dip dive away? No, he does not. That's an 8. Power check for Louis. He needs a 6 and under. It's a 16. He doesn't get it. 1:40 to go. Louis with momentum. 4 punches for Louis. 5 for Frazier. Fans loving all this hard fisticuff action. A 1 for Joe Louis. 2 on the outside against a 4 for Frazier, which is 2 on the outside. Louis goes first, a little more comfortable from the outside, lands 0 through 50. That's a 55. He'll miss his shots. Frazier, we're going to throw a looping right hand and then a wide left hook. And that's a 99. 99. We go to the event chart, 99, and we roll for the event. And it's a 69. Fighter scores 2 punches, then showboats excessively. No action next segment. So Frazier lands 2 big punches. And then there is no action for the next segment. The referee says people come here to watch you fight. And now there's only 1 minute left. In round number 3, Frazier up 7-4. Frazier has momentum now. That's a 5 for Lewis. 2 on the outside. A 2 for Frazier. Nothing on the outside. Lewis trying to work behind that really good jab of his. And that's a 43. He will. 2 jabs and another solid right cross. Finding their targets, which is Joe Lewis's cranium. Did Lewis dip away? Did Frazier dip away? No, he doesn't. That's a 17 power check. Lewis needs it's a 1! Possible knockdown of Joe Frazier. Those are big punches. Frazier felt them. He goes down. 2 and under. He's hurt. 5, 4, and 3. And the blue die just jumped the freaking shark. And we have to find the blue die. Oh, we found it. Oh, thank God it didn't roll away. Here it is. It's an 18. So Frazier absorbs it. So much excitement here at ringside. The die jumped out of the ring. 7 apiece. 40 seconds to go. Another round up for grabs. Lewis with a 4. 1 on the inside. Frazier with a 1. 2 on the inside. Frazier, this is a final 40 seconds that both of these fighters need. 88 for Joe Frazier on the inside, and he falls into a clinch. Again, a lot of mauling and brawling. The referee breaks him. 20 seconds to go in this round. 7 punches apiece. This will determine the winner of this round. 5 for Lewis, 2 on the outside, and a 2 for Joe Frazier. Nothing on the outside. Lewis lands, he wins the round. And he'll land. That's a 35. Again, that educated jab of Joe Lewis. 2 jabs and that right cross crashing upon Frazier. Frazier trying to duck underneath. That's a 6. A 6 for Frazier. He doesn't duck away from anything. Power check at the end. Lewis needs a 6 and under. It's a 4. Another possible knockdown of Frazier. Frazier is down! Frazier is down! For the second time in this fight. The clock is ticking down. You cannot be saved by the bell. Frazier will be knocked out. Frazier will be knocked out if it's a 2. There will not be any carryover of a Killer Instinct. So this is it. It's a 2! It is over! Joe Frazier is KO'd in round number 3 by the great Joe Lewis. Lewis lands a thudding right cross. Frazier is departed of his senses. He does not beat the 10 count. Mills Lane reaches the 10 count, and it is all over. Joe Lewis, hands high in the air. The fans at Yankee Stadium cheering on the beloved Joe Lewis, the Brown Bomber from Detroit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tribes fan had caught Joe Lewis's mouthpiece. We went flying into the front row. Lewis is out. It was a la Rocky Marciano versus Jersey Joe Walcott. You could count to 4,503. Frazier was not beating that count. The great Brown Bomber, one of my all-time favorites, next with Rocky Marciano, advances in the TenStar tournament, and he avenges Marciano's defeat to Frazier. Unbelievable. What 3 rounds of hell. Rivaling Hagler and Hearns. Unbelievable. The bell rang. The count continued. You cannot be saved by the bell. Frazier finally, they're trying to get him up on the stool. Unbelievable. The great Joe Lewis has done it. He advances to round 3 of the TenStar tournament. And let me just tell you what's going on with the TenStar tournament. As I can't find the other boxers. Where are the other boxers? Oh, here they are. We have 3 fighters left. So I had to do a blind draw. So it will be Muhammad Ali versus James Jeffries. And Jack Johnson will face the winner of that fight when I did the blind draw. So Joe Lewis, my friends, is in the final. The Brown Bomber is in the finals. It would have been Frazier if he had won, but Frazier was departed of his senses. That right hand crashed upon his jaw, and it was over. the great Brown Bomber. He went down. Frazier dropped him in round 2 for a 5 count. Lewis would get up. Lewis would be staggered. Lewis would stick through it. Frazier trying to do to Lewis what Max Schmeling did to Lewis in the first fight. But Frazier, bam, nailed him. Lewis nailed Frazier, dropped him in round 2 for a 6 count. And here, in round 3, both fighters pounding away at the very end. The right hand of God strikes Frazier on the chin. And it's done. Joe Louis advances to the finals in our 10-star tournament. Unbelievable, great victory for the Brown Bomber. Let's make it official. My God, the fans are buzzing here at Yankee Stadium. I'm buzzing. The dice are buzzing. What a fight. Joe Frazier. It looked like it was going to be Frazier. Wow. Unbelievable. And wow, that's all I can say. So Lewis wins via KO at the 3-minute mark. And that's it, folks. That is those 3 rounds rival Hagler-Hearns. That was an unbelievable pugilistic contest. So let's just get some final punch stat numbers. Not that it matters. Lewis landed 10. There was a lot of mauling and brawling in that round. And Lewis came on at the end. Lewis landed 10. Frazier landed 7. It's all academic now, as they say. So in less than 9 minutes of pure violence, Frazier landed 28 blows. Lewis landed 30. There were 3 knockdowns. Frazier dropped Lewis first in round 2. Lewis came back at the end of the round and dropped Frazier. And then in round 3, Frazier and Lewis just went at it toe-to-toe right off the bat, trying to rattle one another. Then there was a lot of mauling and brawling, a lot of rough stuff. We get down to about 45 seconds. Lewis forced Frazier back to the ropes. Bada bing, bada boom, count to 10. It's a done deal. Joe Louis wins via KO. The bell sounded, but the count continued. You cannot be saved by the bell in this tournament. That is an asinine rule, and we don't play with that rule. So, Joe Louis advances. One more time. Up next, I don't know when we'll get to it, it is Muhammad Ali versus James Jeffries. The winner, and that will be a 10-round bout, because it's going to be 15 rounds. And then the winner of that, we had a draw offline, will face Jack Johnson. And the winner of that will face Joe Louis for the 10-star tournament. So thank you to the original Grognard at ringside, TribesFan879, and What's Blazing in Sports T-Dub. Check out all those wonderful content creators. Subscribe, share, spread the word. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. We showed you Glory Days Boxing with my Excel spreadsheet helper, and now we gave you the true card and dice feel. These cards are magnificent. You will not go wrong if you purchase the cards. You won't go wrong if you just purchase the PDFs. I purchased both because I like to play both ways. And a lot of fun. Thank you very much. And remember, Joe Louis defeats Joe Frazier. 3rd round knockout. Fight of the year. Fight of the year. Till next time, health and happiness. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless. You know it's coming. Peace. Happy Veterans Day.